Hi everybody, I'm venting again. Um, I want to vent today about Mr. JT Dum Dum Face. That's Justin Trudeau. I am beside myself with this new Prime Minister of ours. Well, he's been in for about a year, but he's successfully put our country into jeopardy in many ways. One of the first ways is financially. And I think anybody, even if you voted for him, and as you know, I did not vote for him, you would know that he has spent money like crazy over the last year. I think one of the reasons is first of all, he grew up kind of privileged. His dad was the prime minister, and let me tell you, this is how old I am. I remember when my parents were complaining about his dad, Pierre Trudeau, and what he was doing to the country. And now the son is now a successor and doing the same thing. And I know that before he got in, I was posting on Facebook that I knew before that he would increase our taxes as well as he would create new taxes. In fact, I kind of made a joke that he'd create the new tax called the fart tax. So every time you fart, he's going to tax you. And I'm not surprised. I mean, he is taxing carbon now, and people are going to be stressed financially because you cannot continue to raise taxes on families and expect everybody to make it. Now, if you just logically look at how much a family makes, or single, it doesn't matter, how much you make on a yearly basis, and then you continually whittle away at your income. That means your net continually gets smaller, and yet expenses continually get higher. It makes it very difficult for families and single people, whoever, to make it. And Canada is going to go down that road. We are on a fast track to being in severe debt. Unless you can get your finances in order and get it organized, then you know what, it'll be tough for people. I think the younger generation are going to struggle. Even just getting a house in Toronto, our homes are crazy too expensive. And so you will end up moving outside of Toronto and doing the commute. But it's really difficult, and he's not stopping. He doesn't care. I personally don't think he really thinks about people. He says he does, but when I look at him in Parliament, every time the opposition asks him a question, he does not answer the question. He circumvents the question. So to me, it's very obvious to me that he's just going to do what he wants, and he doesn't really care what Canadians think or feel. Another issue is the West Edmonton Mall. Now, what bothers me about this is he's welcoming in, again, we're going to come down to the Sharia law and the Muslim way of thinking. This guy was in the pool. He molested and touched up a whole bunch of young women. I think most of them were young. I'm not sure 100%. But he molested and touched them. And they put him in jail, or they arrested him, and he got out. Yes, he got out. And so what does that say to our society? That it's okay to do that? I think not. Somebody needs to stop this crazy way of thinking. And then he got interviewed, Justin Trudeau got interviewed by a CBC reporter who apparently went to the Middle East. I mean, I would never go to the Middle East, but hey, I'm not a reporter. She went to the Middle East, and she was raped and mauled by Muslim men. Now, when they showed a clip of her interviewing Justin Trudeau, and she point blank asked him about what he thinks about this kind of thinking, this Muslim way of thinking, his response is, "You can't put up a wall." Like, really? You can't put up a wall? Okay, what about our safety? Okay, what about our safety? You're gonna say it's okay? He chooses to ignore what is going on around the world, what's happening in Germany, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in now it happened in West Edmonton Mall, in our own country. The other issue is the Quebec bombing. The guy was actually from a Moroccan guy who was a Muslim. Okay, so CBC tends to ignore and doesn't portray the right information and skews it towards the liberal side of thinking. It really bothers me what's going on. So my issue with Justin Trudeau, and I have been tweeting him, he's not responding to me, but I'm tweeting him because I want him to know what I think. I mean, not that it's going to change the world, I get it, but I think that they need to understand and hear our voices. I think they need for us to get out there and tweet. I mean, Trump is tweeting. I love it. So let's tweet these guys and tell them what we think and show that we care and that what we would like our country to be and how we would like our country run, instead of sitting back. And I find that a lot of Canadians, we tend to, we're kind of nice people. We tend to be quiet, laid back. Compare our football game to an American football game. I mean, hands down. When you go down there, he's screaming and yelling, and it's a big party. And up here, we just kind of sit there. So there's a difference in the way we as Canadians voice our opinions. But I do really think that this is a time when we do need to speak up and voice our opinions. So that's all for today. Take care.